Welcome back to Antiquated Builds. So today we're going to learn how we're going to build a Roman bathhouse. This is a small bathhouse, it's not very big. It's mostly like a hot bathhouse with like an underground heated flooring to heat up the room. And yeah, so this is based off of some of like the ancient ruins of Impuries that I've seen in north of Spain. So here we go, there's some bits of the structure of this bathhouse. And this is a main reference, but yeah, you can see. So we're going to be using 20 by 18 roughly, and we're going to need, I mean, you could not use this, have like a hole in the floor, but in this case I'm going to use 4 deep, so I'm going to dig a hole 4 deep. So you might want to pause the video right here to dig your hole, but basically this is going to be our underfloor heating for the bathhouse. So yeah. And basically what we're going to do here is we first need to build an access. So for maintenance or for accessing our fires at the bottom of the bathhouse, we're going to need to build an access stair. So here we're just taking some andesite, some polished andesite stairs, and we're just going to be making a side stair in that small cutback. And then basically in this side, you can use really whatever block you're using in your town or wherever you are to match on the side of the wall there. And then for the floor, we're going to take andesite or stone, or you could use brick as well, but it looks quite nice like this. And you're basically going to take andesite and make this big floor basically that's one in from the edge, so not right to the edge because you're going to waste your andesite, but yeah, you're going to take it one from the edge, and then we're going to basically run it all the way along and then pretty much fill in the whole thing. So that whole area we're going to fill it in. And as we're filling this in, again, this is going to be our underfloor heating. So as we saw in one of the photos earlier, it's basically that small underground bit that's going to have lots of pillars in. So yeah, we should be ready to move on to the next step. So basically what we're going to do here is we're going to take some more andesite, blocks of coal, etc. And we're going to have to build our chimney. So we need our chimney for where, we're going to have our fires. So typically these bathhouses would have had fires where they would have heated the air. So underneath of the floor you would have hot air basically in the cavity, and then here we're just going to be making this wall. So right here we're just going to try and build the basement, and we're going to be using andesite in this example, and we're going to just run this andesite all the way around the edge. And then yeah, just come out to the fireplace and we've got, polished andesite again. So in the corners, we're going to take some decorated pots. Now the corners, this isn't necessary, but it looks quite cool. And the idea is that these large cavities or basements underneath would carry hot air into the walls that would surround a hot bath. And the way that you would take those up is you would have pipes in the walls. Now, I'm going to do this with decorated pots. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take brick walls, and these are going to be our columns that are going to hold the floor up. So typically you would have seen these being made out of Roman brick pretty much. You could use like granite as well. I mean, you could really use whatever you want with this bit. You could, you're not going to see it. But if we're going to be historically accurate, or somewhat historically accurate, you can use like bricks or something like that. That's what they would have used and what I've seen in like ruins and whatever. And we're just basically going to take this along the top. So around the fireplace we're using blocks of coal. And again on our wall we're using andesite. And that's going to come right along the edge. So yeah, this one, I mean, we've got a lot of stone and a lot of like materials in this basement. You could, if you're building this in survival, you could totally cut this out. It might actually be a cool storage room as well. But this is a bit more of a resource intensive build. And then again, I mean, we're just going to be placing brick walls on top of all of this, making it too high so it's just big enough to walk underneath, so you can go in and you can fix your pipes, you can fix any columns that are broken. And then yeah, that's basically that. So we're just going to place them upside down stairs in front of our fireplace, so you've got like a nice archway that would hold up the wall above it. And there we go, that's our basement pretty much. So if you look at any ruins, this might look a little bit like it. So when, you know, the building collapses in the future, you've got your basement that is still there, basically. Then, yeah, we've got our little fireplace over here. And this is going to allow all the hot air to run underneath our bathhouse. Now for the next step, we're going to take some polished andesite. Now on our side axis, we're going to just run that along the top. And here it's kind of debatable. You know, you could totally close this off. You could have your fireplace. You could add more campfires as well, so your smoke goes further up, because I know as you go further up, the smoke actually just stops, depending on blocks as well. And then, yeah, we're just going to be taking more andesite around the edge, as we've done before. And what we're going to do is we're going to start making our floor. So because it's a bathhouse, we're going to need a double layer floor, because we need to have something to basically place the water on top of. Now right here, I'm just filling in the fireplace just to show that the smoke doesn't go up, but we don't need that there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take decorated pots again, and we're going to run them all the way around the edge. Now this is where we're going to place our walls on top of, and this could be totally optional. I mean, you know, pots in survival are a bit of a, you know, ball ache, but these can run all the way around the edge. And basically these are going to be like the way that the hot air goes into pipes and goes into the walls, basically. So you'll see we'll get a cool effect when you walk around the edges, that you have gaps in your wall. And we're just going to basically fill the whole of this in now with chiseled quartz blocks, which is going to be the base of like our like bath floors, basically. And as you can see here, you get this cool like terracotta gap underneath, and it could be pipes, but yeah, I mean, that's the intention at least. So we're just going to fill this in. And there we go. So right here, what I'd like to do is I'd like to take a lightning rod and some lanterns to light this thing up. And I mean, this, you know, this is like totally a bit of an extra detail, but it's a lightning rod to hold the building into the side of the wall. And then, yeah, we can just add some lanterns in underneath. I mean, realistically, you probably wouldn't have had any light down here. But for the sake of like Minecraft and showing things, probably is a good idea to make some light down there so you don't have any bats. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take block of coal, or any black block of coal looks quite good though, and we're going to take that and we're going to basically put block of coals all the way around the like edge of the building, so on top of those pots. And that's where we're going to have our imaginary pipes running hot air into our building, basically. Now you can put grass blocks in the front here to like fill this gap. Basically, in this gap around between your coal blocks, use anything that's around wherever you're building this. So use sand if you're in a desert, use grass if you're in a grassy area, use, you know, stone if you're in a cave, really whatever. Now we're going to have to find the middle of this. So in the middle of the front, we're going to have to try and find, so it's about 6 blocks from the edge here, or 6 or 7 blocks, and we're going to need 3 in the middle. So we've got 3 in the middle here, and then we've got 6 to the side there, and 6 to the other side. Now we're going to delete these 3 in the middle, and then we're going to delete these as well. So this can be done in chiseled quartz blocks. This like front door area could be done in pillars as well. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the diorite and we're going to start making our floor. So this is going to be a bit more of like an intricate floor, like different patterns and stuff, so it's a bit more like a mosaic. And I think the diorite and granite look quite good. It looks a bit like a mosaic with then the chiseled quartz blocks. And these are going to make our areas for our pools. So we're going to have a few pools in here. I mean, realistically, you wouldn't have had so many pools in, you know, one area. It would have been a bit more spread out. But this is like a very small, condensed bathhouse. So it doesn't have like, you know, cold baths and like lukewarm baths. It's just a warm bathhouse sauna thing, basically. And if we just follow this, so we're going to take some granite and we're going to stick it in here and here as well. And then we're going to take some polished diorite, so like we've done on the sides, and we're just going to mix these up as well. And you get quite like a nice texture in terms of like, you know, what you can do with that as a floor. Now what we're going to go and do is we're going to get some buckets. We're going to get some water and we're going to fill in all of these holes. So you could do this at the end of the build. I mean, it's probably best to do it now while the roof is off. And we're just going to fill these all in. So you've got lots of different baths here. I mean, you can have lots of people bathing in here at once. But you could also do it so, you know, you could fill in some of these areas, have them as like seating areas. In some of the corners, you could just completely close it off and have them as changing rooms as well. But I'm just going to do it all as baths for this example. Now we're going to take some quartz pillars and we're going to run 2 there. Now here again, I mean, you could just keep this the way it is. I think it looks quite cool like this. I just keep changing my mind on it. It just looks a little bit different. And then again here. So you get your nice entrance ways either side. Now in your corners, you're going to place again your pillars, and these are going to hold up the building in the middle. So you're going to get nice archways with like nice Roman columns basically. And while we're here, we can just place around some candles. You can put some flowers down as well. I mean, really, whatever you want to put down. And it adds like quite a nice chilled look to the place. Now we're going to put some cauldrons, and these are going to be our plant pots. So you know you want some nice plant pots in your bathhouse. And again, we're just going to place right on top of this coal more coal, and that's going to be like our black base. And typically, I mean, these things would have been quite colourful. You know, a lot of Roman and Greek buildings were quite colourful, so we're going to be continuing this here. And we're going to take red nether bricks. Now here we just need to make sure that we've got 2 in the middle. So here we just need to go 4 and 4, and then you need a 2 gap in the middle because it's not quite uneven on that side, an odd number. And we're going to do the same on the other side. Except this side we're just going to have less columns because we've got the chimney. And there we go. So for our next step, we're going to take, again, just some quartz pillars, and we're going to do 2 up here, 2 up here, in the middle, here as well, so on our rear and front entrances. And then in our corners, and in line with these other pillars, we're going to do more of these quartz pillars, basically. And that's going to be like our semi-structural grid for what we're building here, but it just looks quite cool. Now on the front, if you find your front, you're going to take yellow terracotta, and we're going to make some small windows to the front. Now typically these places wouldn't have had loads of windows because you don't want to have the heat escaping out the sides, and you want privacy of course, but we're just going to add a couple in there. But then all the other walls are going to fill out. So chimney, we're going to fill out. These walls here, fill out. Back walls, fill that out as well, so people can't see people in the bath, basically. There as well. And then we're going to take some diorite walls, and we're going to basically build white columns on top of our red bases. And that's just going to run all the way around the edge. So typically, I mean, you could have this, if you were building it slightly bigger, you could have it so you can pass underneath the columns and you've got like a porch. I mean, for the sake of this scale, we're building a very small one. It's a bit more of like a local bath. So yeah, you just do that, get a bit more space. And then here we're just doing the typical placing leaves on top of a cauldron, get some nice bushes. And then we're going to take some spruce buttons and we're going to place these on top. Now, you're going to have to place them one from the edge on some areas because you can't place 2 buttons on one block basically. So if you do your best, if you do the sides all the way and then you do the other ones with one left, it probably looks the best that way, I think, but I mean, either or really. Now we're going to take some smooth quartz blocks and some smooth quartz stairs, and we're going to fill out our doorway. But here we're going to do like a nice little ceiling hole, basically, so you get like cool marble white stuff here as well. And we're going to take some tripwire hooks, and these are going to be like our column detail, like Corinthian columns or something like that. And we're going to do the same in the middle. So typically, I mean, those who are like fans of like classical architecture and whatever, you would have Corinthian columns and something like this. So we're going to try our best to make some Corinthian columns with like some tripwire hooks. I mean, really, what the most you can do in Minecraft with just tripwire hooks, basically. And then we're going to take red nether bricks, and that's going to just add an extra pop of colour, so it matches the ones at the bottom. But then you've got like a nice red band that runs around the building. And again with our diorite walls. Here as well. And there you basically have it. So the next bit, bamboo signs again, so we're going to just do a stripe like so. And this is like, you know, imagine if you've got like gold figures painted on these red bricks, or you've got like, you know, some sort of stripe that runs across, you know, some sort of painted thing. I mean, this is really probably the most that you can do in Minecraft. I mean, we can't like paint things on bricks, obviously, but this is probably the best thing you can do to kind of replicate that. Now on top of those bricks, we're going to take some smooth quartz blocks and just go all the way on top. And this is then going to start coming to the bit where we're building our roof. So this is just single story. You don't need any stairs in it because, you know, you're not going to have any balconies or whatever in this one. And we're just finishing off our columns. And you're just going to have to bear with me as I place upside down stairs really badly to try and cap out our columns here. And the idea is you kind of get like something that could resemble something with proper like Roman columns in the middle that looks quite nice as well. And it could, I mean, to be honest, I mean, this could be, you know, equally Hellenistic. I mean, the way that it's like laid out, I mean, you know, baths weren't typically laid out in a particular way. It really depended town to town, city to city in terms of like my understanding. But this could be used for like Hellenistic cities as well. And then we're going to do like a nice just inset with some upside down stairs on the doorway. And then on top of our columns, we're going to place some brick stairs. And that's going to be the first layer of like a roof sort of thing. So we're going to have a small roof that runs around the edge and along the top of the chimney. But then we're going to have another smaller roof that's on top, which kind of goes around the top and then has like a hole in the roof so that you get some air inside as well. So even though it's a hot bath, you don't want it to be totally stuffy. I mean, you know, it's not that big, so you need a little bit of air in there as well. And we're just going to place some tripwire hooks here as well. And there we go. Starting to look quite nice now. So, next bit, again with the smooth quartz blocks. So, take these on top, and we're going to have to do this a bit more meticulously because we're going to put some windows in. So if we put it right on top of just these bits, as I'm showing, so on top of the columns and along the front bit, but at the moment, just for the moment, we're going to be leaving the corners because we've got to place in some small little windows just to get a little bit of extra light in there. And it's going to help light up the nice colours and whatever that we've got in the ceiling. And here we're going to fill it in as well. And here too. Now on the corners, you could really, you know, place it all upside down stairs and have lots of slots. I think it looks best if you do two. So if you do two upside down ones here, two upside down ones here, and I think it looks best like this. Now you can shift it either side, more or less. So like here, I mean, you could, you know, I mean, it really depends which one you want. You know, I think this is the best way it looks. But then equally, you could do this where you just have 2 there, and then it's slightly shifted to the edge. I think it looks better slightly closer to the middle. I mean, it's a shame that we can't really, it would be perfect if you could have it in between those 2. But this is probably like the best way you can do it at the moment. I think so, at least. So yeah, I mean, what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 here, 1 solid block, 2 upside down here, solid block, so then these match, and then we're going to do the same on this side as well. And there we go. Now on the front and back, we're going to do a little roof in brick slabs, like this. And then for our last bit in this step, what we're basically going to do is we're going to take some, well, pretty much we're going to take some cyan banners. Now, this isn't typically like a banner. I'm doing this as like a, not as a banner, but like a, like blue painted section on the wall. Just to add a bit more colour in the ceiling. I mean, you could leave this out as well. You could just do it as like white banners or something, or like country banners, really what you want. But I think the cyan banners look quite nice with these colours. So you've then got the white, the blue, the red, the gold, and it has like a really nice colour scheme. I mean, particularly in shaders, you know, in normal Minecraft it still looks quite nice, but with shaders it looks like pretty good. Now for this bit, we're going to be onto our roof. So we're going to take some red nether bricks again, and we're going to do it all the way around the top, on top of the edge, like so. And then again on top of these. Now, when you go inside the bathhouse and you look up and you're in the bath, you're going to have a really nice ceiling. And one of these things of like Roman bathhouses and just like Roman buildings as a whole is not just looking at the side, it's looking up. And when you would look upwards, you just have these like beautiful coloured ceilings with all these nice stuff in it. This is what we're trying to do here as well. So we've got a bit more colour. Now for the roof, this is just going to be a really, really simple slab roof. Now if you just build off from the edge like that, and we're going to start doing it where there are bricks, basically whole blocks of bricks just hanging over the edge with 1 to cover by slabs. So here we've got 2 on the sides and then we've got 1 on the front. So it's slightly uneven, but it's like hardly noticeable as well. And then for the rest of it, we're just going to put brick slabs to fill in these gaps. All the way around the edge, and then in the middle we're going to do the exact same thing. So we're going to take these, bang, 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 there we go, and there we have it basically. So that hole in the middle we're going to leave. I mean, you could fill this in as well. I quite like the hole in the middle because you get a nice lot of light in the middle. It looks quite nice. Now, you know, for the last thing, what we can do is we can just go in and we can add some lanterns, some extra light, so you get some extra light in the ceiling, and light the candles. Like so. And then yeah, just light the candles and whatever. And it just has like a really nice chilled feel to it as well, which is quite nice. And pretty much there we have it. So I mean, you could go around on the outside, you could add some extra bushes. I mean, you could change the colours up a bit. You could, you know, change the building a little bit so you've got a little bit more in terms of seating space. Really how you like, but yeah, I mean, this has been a small little Roman bathhouse. I mean, a really small one, kind of like a hot bathhouse, more like, with side access so you can get down there. You can fix. You can put some water in here as well. Forgot to do that. But you can go and basically fix your underground. So if it ever breaks, you can fix it. the hot air is going to come in that room. You can see on the side, that's how hot air is going to go into our walls. So it's going to come into the sides and it's going to go into our walls. And there we have it. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Big thank you to everyone who's been tuning in, everyone new who's been tuning in. Looking forward to showing you guys loads more stuff, some actual Let's builds as well, some more tutorials, and yeah, hopefully I'll see you for the next one. Goodbye.